Last Friday, I made the worst team in world football Hyderabad FC the world's best by winning them the Champions League. Today, I attempt to do this with Europe's worst team, UCD Dublin, who are also actually the youngest team in world football because they're a college. But unfortunately, because they've been relegated from the top flight of Irish football, next year they won't be in FC 25. So whilst I still can, I'm stepping in. I'm making it my mission to make UCD Dublin go from Europe's worst team to become the world's best. And to make this even harder, I'm taking them from the top flight of Irish football and putting them into the 4th tier of English football. Strap yourselves in, guys, because this is going to be one hell of a challenge. And I wasn't joking, guys, because this is the starting 11 we've loaded into with UCD Dublin, and granted it is a bit of a better team than Hyderabad FC, but not by bloody much, let me tell you. I'm still seeing quite a bit of red in our squad up, ladies and gents. I mean, to make these guys the world's best team, we've got a lot of work to do. But unlike Hyderabad FC, this team's average rating is 19, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, they are a college team, so it's going to be a young team, but that really does bode well for us long term. Because I've gone through the squad up, guys, and I've noticed 1 or 2 decent players that we can try and build this team around for the next 3 or 4 years at the very least. For example, there's Daniel Babb, a 17-year-old 55 rated right back, actually one of the best players in the entire team right now. There's also Marky Raggett, who's only 19 years old, 54 rated, one of our best strikers. And there's also Sean Brennan, who, if I'm not mistaken, is the only player in this entire team whose status says has got something special, so I'm definitely going to take that at face value. But this is where it gets really stinky, guys. We've only got 839,000 as our budget in Season 1. That's just awful, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, that's actually the worst budget in FC 24. We've got a long way to go before we're winning the Champions League with these guys, but after winning it with Hyderabad FC last Friday, I fully believe in FC 24 that anything is possible now. But first, let's start with the formation changes. I'm going to be rocking the 4-2-2 formation. We've got no central attacking midfielders, but we've got quite a few CDMs, so all we've got to do is modify those cams to right wingers and left wingers, and this is sorted. And we're going to be using wing play again, ladies and gents. Our wingers are the strongest players in the team, and we've right now got to play to our strengths. And after meddling with the team a bit, this is, in my opinion, the strongest and highest potential starting 11 we can field right now. Now, you'll have noticed that there's a couple of players playing out of position. I feel like I might have got this formation change wrong, you know. Instead of the 4-2-2, I think instead we use the 4-4-2 flat, because we've actually got better centre midfielders than we've got CDMs. And just like that, guys, everybody's playing in their natural positions, everybody's relatively sharp, everybody's happy. We're good to go for now at the very least. But just like last Friday, before we go any further, I'm looking at our youth academy, and there's actually a couple of players in here we could use. I mean, there's Mexican centre forward German Acosta, only 15 years old, so we can't actually promote him yet, but he's got a very good amount of potential. I actually don't think he's playing in his natural position. I mean, he's got pretty decent pace. I feel like he's more of a winger than he is actually a centre forward, so we're going to convert him to a winger, which will take 2 weeks, and then we'll go from there. There's also Louis Collier. I mean, he's a striker slash centre forward, also 15 years old, but also I don't think he's playing in his natural position either. I'm going to convert him to a left winger and see what happens. As for the rest of these guys, I feel like I'm just going to release them, to be honest. I don't feel like they're going to fit into the team. But with the youth academy all taken care of, that does beg the question, what are we going to do with this actually increased amount of money? 994,000. I don't know how that's bloody happened. The problem we're facing right now is that not one of these players are under the age of like 23 years old, so every single one of them, given enough decent time, will actually grow quite well for their ratings. I mean, granted, dynamic potential isn't going to hit these guys like a truck, but it can definitely work its magic for a little bit at the very least, I reckon. However, maybe investing in a stronger keeper than Kian Moore might be a good move. I know this is ours because he's only 20 years old and he's not going to get a chance, but right now we definitely need a stronger keeper than this guy. I mean, you got to remember, we're not in the Irish League anymore, we're in League 2, and quite frankly, guys, if we haven't got a strong keeper in between the sticks with a poor defence in front of him, he's going to get annihilated. So I've gone ahead and made our one and only signing of season number 1, as I've just spent 600,000 on Connor Kearns. He's in his mid-20s and he's actually a really good goalie for League 2 when you think about it. Having him in between the sticks in season 1 may prevent us from finishing rock bottom. And guys, 2 weeks has officially been passed and German Acosta's training to become a right winger is done, Is he going to go up in overall? Oh, wow. He's actually going up by 3 ratings. That's lovely. I mean, it's a shame we can't use him because he's only 15 years old yet, but the second he turns 16 years old, he's getting promoted. Is Lewis Collier going to go up as well, though? Oh, my God. Yes, he does. He goes up like a rocket. 7 overall improvement is amazing, guys. We can't use him because he's also 15 years old, but once he's old enough, we'll get him promoted into the senior team. Now, behind the scenes, we've also been training Danny Norris to become a left winger. I mean, if those 2 academy players have just gone up, why not? Let's see what happens. He actually goes up by 1 overall himself. Lovely stuff. But there is one more thing that I do want to do. Behind the scenes, I'll be loading all 4 of these players out just to ensure that the other players in their positions are going to get game time over them unhindered. But right now, that's officially all I can do with UCD Dublin. So this is the team heading into Season 1. And truth be told, guys, I've got absolutely no hopes or expectations for what we can achieve. I mean, let's be completely honest with ourselves. We're most likely looking at a rock bottom finish in League 2. If we actually finish any higher than 24th in league, I'll be over the moon with that. I feel like for the first 3 or 4 years at the very least are going to be foundation layering seasons, setting ourselves up for success in the future, weeding out the weak from the strong and then going from there. So with that being said, I want to see overall massive improvements. I want to see who the types of players are that I've got to get rid of next year, and I want to see who the types of players are that I can maybe carry until the championship. And I've got to be honest, Season 1 is looking like a success. Everybody, and I mean everybody, is shot up by at least 3 overalls, man. Do you know how mad that is? Whether or not these guys will keep going like this next year is something we're going to have to figure out next year. But for now, at least, we can definitely say we've got a talented bunch of lads on our hands here. And you know what, guys? I stand by what I said. Look at these stats for UCD Dublin. 15-8 for Kinsella Bishop, 14-4 for Raggett, 13-5 for Bayhen, and 10-4 for Jake Dool off the bench. Call me crazy, call me biased, but this team isn't that bad in the slightest. Obviously, we need a lot of work doing to it still. We need to improve certain areas of the pitch, but right now, this is a great step in the right direction. The question is, though, where have we finished? Because I've got a very strong suspicion that we're nowhere near the bottom 3. And I was right, you know, we're actually not far off the playoffs. Oh my God, I cannot believe that. I mean, I know I said we were nowhere near the bottom 3, but I did not expect us to be only 3 spots below the playoffs, man. That is something I thought we wouldn't even get to until Season 3, but we're already almost there. Well, the FA Cup went as well as you can imagine. We got knocked out by Newport in round 2. We also got knocked out in round 1 of the Carabao Cup by Notts County. And we finished rock bottom in the BSM competition. Honestly, I'd expect nothing less right now. But I've got to say, Season 1 went a lot better, and I mean a lot better than I originally thought. Obviously, this is one of the worst teams in FC24, but right now, we've got them a top 10 finish in League 2. I don't think they're the worst team in FC24 anymore. But it's like I said before we went into the campaign this year, we need to figure out the weak from the strong next season. We need to figure out who we can build this team around, and we need to figure out who we need to get rid of. Because as soon as we figure that out, guys, we take this UCD Dublin team one step closer to getting promoted and getting out of League 2. But before we go any further, if you enjoy me rebuilding the worst team in Europe right now, consider leaving this video a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. Now here we are, guys, we just arrived into Season 2 and I completely forgot to update you guys about our youth academy prospects. And German Acosta is now 64 rated with a better potential than Collier. Honestly, I feel like he can go straight into that starting 11 now. I mean, our current right winger Bayhen is literally 7 years older than this guy and 3 ratings lower. This one's literally a no-brainer. I'm going to send him out on loan and put Acosta in the starting 11. And there he is in the starting 11, ladies and gents. Something tells me Acosta's going to have an absolutely insane season this year. And it's more good news, guys, as we've got 2 million in total to spend in Season 2. And honestly, if we spend this correctly on the right players in the right positions, we could creep into the playoffs. And I think the first player we should replace is Adam Verdon. I mean, he submitted a transfer request anyway. I don't really know why, but that's just coincidentally good news because I'm going to replace him anyway. And I also think a stronger centre-back than Bowden is a route to go down as well, especially if we are serious about trying to get a promotion spot this time. But after searching for a centre-mid for a while, I found Kieran Gilligan, only 22. He's a very good centre-mid, especially for League 2, guys. He's going to level our team up and then some. And I also spotted Stephen Negru from Oxford United, only 21, and he'd already be our strongest defender if we sign him. That alone explains why we should sign him. But I didn't just sign Steven Negru, I spent a whopping 1.15 million combined to sign Kieran Gilligan and Steven Negru. And just look at how strong we're looking now going into Season 2 with Negru and Gilligan in the team. Now, ironically, I know that the word strong is a strong word to use with the current team we've got, but when you consider where we've come from, we are looking really good. But I'm not sure if we're going to get the playoffs this year, man. I don't know if last year was a fluke or not. It might be, it might not be. Who knows? I guess we're going to have to wait till the end of Season 2 to find out. Well, that's where we've just arrived at, guys. And Raggett looks like he carried the boat this year. 19 goals and 6 assists. And what did I tell you guys about this guy? He turned out to be pretty damn good. And on top of that, the players are still, for the most part, improving at quite a fast pace. And this is exactly what we're after whilst we're in League 2, to be fair. I mean, look at Louis Collier, for example. 9 overall growth in 1 year out on loan. Oh my freaking god. We can legit bring him back and slot him straight into the starting 11 if we wanted to. And you know what, guys? Looking at this team, looking at the morale and how sharp everybody is, I actually reckon we've got a playoff spot. But I was wrong. I was completely freaking wrong, guys. We are once again exactly where we were last year, 10th in League 2. I mean, it's definitely better than the latter, finishing lower to mid-table, for example, but we've improved the team and still finished exactly where we were last year when we were a weaker team. That, to me, isn't good news. As for the FA Cup, it's as you'd expect once again, we got knocked out in round 1 by Colchester. But this time we made it to round 2 of the Carabao Cup before getting knocked out by MK Dons on pens. But surprise, surprise, we once again finished rock bottom of the BSM competition. Go bloody figure. But coming back to the team for a sec, I can't believe we only managed to do what we did last year with a much stronger team. Honestly, guys, that is worrying for me because it shows that even though we've improved the team, we're not really doing that much better on the pitch. I mean, I don't want to change this formation because right now it suits every player in this starting team down to a T. Maybe we change the tactics instead. Maybe the wing play tactical vision isn't the best partnered up with a 4-4-2 formation, for example. One way or another though, guys, we've got to figure out where we're going wrong with this team because it is far better than just 10th in League 2. But we've got bigger problems in the new season, guys. We've only got 1 million in our budget to spend. I know it's UCD Dublin, but come on. What on earth am I supposed to do with 1 million to improve this team? We need a bit bloody more. So I've taken it upon myself to go through the squad up to find players that I don't really use or want anymore. And hopefully after selling all these players, we'll have a decent chunk of money to spend in Season 3. Now, ladies and gents, as you can see, I've been a little bit busy. I've managed to sell pretty much every single player I put on that transfer list. Not for a great deal of money individually, but altogether, it's actually come to quite a decent amount. We've now got over 2 million to spend, and if I'm being completely honest, I fully intend to use this money with the hopes of getting us promotion in Season 3. And I'm going to spend this money on a stronger centre mid than Higgins and a better centre back than Clancy. These are the weakest links in our team by a country mile, and once we sort this out, I don't see what stops us from getting automatic promotion. And I wasted no time in signing a stronger centre back as I've just spent 670,000 on Luke Turner. He's still very young and a very strong centre back, especially for League 2. Honestly, we are one step closer to that promotion we're after. But I think promotion will be secure once we sign Baba Adiko from Wigan Athletic. Only 22, 66 overall. He's legitimately going to tear it up in League 2. And you guessed it, that wraps up our transfer windows. We spent 1.1 million on Baba Adiko. But there is one more thing I'm going to do, and that is bring Louis Collier back off his loan from Victoria Con. I mean, he's a much better player than our current left winger, so this one's just common sense. And I'm not being funny, but looking at this team right now, if we do not somehow get promotion to League 1 this season, I'm going to absolutely lose my head. I've got to say though, these stats aren't filling me with confidence, guys. Raggett got 16 goal contributions, 12 for Acosta and Doyle, 9 and 5 for Collier, and 7 and 2 for Danny Norris. I mean, the team on paper does look fantastic and everybody's happy, which does look good, but I just don't feel like those stats are promotion worthy, if that makes sense. But then again, what do I know? We're officially a League 1 side after finishing 3rd in League 2. It's about goddamn time as well. I was honestly beginning to think it was never going to happen, man. We spent 3 years in League 2, but finally on the 3rd attempt, we got out of League 2. But we're still absolutely shocking in the FA Cup as Sutton knock us out in round 1. And Mansfield have knocked us out of the Carabao Cup in round 2. But we actually made it out of the group stage of the BSM trophy this time. We made it to round 2 before Oxford knocked us out. I'm so happy we finally done it, man. That's only step 1, remember. We've got to win the bloody Champions League with this lot yet. But I feel like going into next year, we've got to build this team around Acosta and Collier. I mean, they're our best players for goodness sake, and in a 4-4-2, I don't feel like we're going to get the best out of them. I mean, look how far back and how wide on the pitch these both are, man. These are our best attackers that we've actually got. We've got to find a formation next year that suits these guys and gets the best out of them. But one thing in Season 4 I am hoping for is that with us getting promoted automatically from League 2, we get a hefty increase in our budget to work with in League 1. But unfortunately, ladies and gents, it simply hasn't happened. We've got 2 million to spend in our first year in League 1. I mean, I don't know why I was expecting more than that. It's a freaking college, for God's sake. To be fair though, I feel like this team, without making any signings anyway, would do quite decent in League 1, but that's not what I want. I want back-to-back promotions if possible. But I did say I was going to change the formation to suit Acosta and Collier a bit more, so I'm going to go really risky. I'm going to go 4-2-4 formation. I've never used this, but I love how attacking it is. We've got 2 strikers, 2 wingers, 2 centre midfielders. Honestly, I reckon it's worth a go for at least 1 year to see how we do with it. I mean, as you can see from the team itself, it's not like anybody's playing out of position. We just need Gilligan and Adiko to be on form when it comes to being really good box-to-box midfielders. But that does bring us to our budget. What are we going to do with this £2 million? Because quite frankly, I'm not going to throw this down the drain, am I? Now, after giving it some thought, I'm thinking of replacing Gilligan in the midfield. With them being so isolated in the centre of the park, we need really good players there, and Gilligan just isn't up to the task, I don't think. I'm also replacing Danu, Kinsella, Bishop up top. I mean, Raggett is actually killing it up, banging goals in for fun, but Bishop, not so much. So with that in mind, I went looking for a better striker, and I found one in Callum Kavanagh for 1.7 million. I mean, he's a much younger striker and better one at that, ladies and gents. I feel like we've absolutely made the right decision. But then again, maybe not. We've only got 400k left to find ourselves a better centre midfielder. I really didn't think that one through, did I? Luckily though, I found Joe Hodge hiding in that free agents list, only 23 and he's 6'9 overall. And he's also Irish, which is also a massive bonus. If you haven't noticed, by the way, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, sign as many Irish players as possible and build a core team of Irish talent. And just like that, with the signing of Joe Hodge, that concludes our business for Season 4. And truth be told, I am loving the looks of this team. Now, I get that it's a really big risk, changing the formation to one that really exposes us on the break, but I feel like it's going to work. I mean, I've tried to build this team around German Acosta and Luis Collier to suit them the best, and honestly, with 2 strikers up top with them, I really do feel like we're playing to their strengths here. And the team is the best it's ever looked, especially after signing Joe Hodge for the centre midfielder role and also bringing in a much stronger striker in Callum Kavanagh. I could be very wrong in saying this, but honestly, I actually feel like back-to-back promotions isn't exactly a far-fetched idea. Okay guys, I was wrong. I was very wrong. We're 14th in League 1. For a newly promoted side though, that's pretty decent. But I'll tell you what isn't decent. We conceded the second highest amount of goals this year. Who conceded the highest amount of goals, I hear you ask? Well, let me just show you. Rock bottom of the league, Notts County. And we didn't even score them many goals either. Honestly, that formation change may have really bitten us in the backside. But to be fair, this time we did make it to round 3 of the FA Cup. But we once again get knocked out in round 1 of the Carabao Cup by none other than MK Dons. And we once again make it to round 2 of the BSM Trophy. But oh my god, look at the morale of this team. That is absolutely horrifying to witness. I mean, our front 4 and midfield are just unhappy, but our back line, oh my god, they are not happy in the slightest. And to make matters worse, these stats are shocking, man. 14-1 for our new signing Kavanagh, 12-1 for Collier, 8-2 for Raggett. I mean, that's just embarrassing. I honestly thought this formation was going to work. Our front 4 at the very least should have bagged way more goals. But considering the fact we conceded the second highest amount of goals, we've definitely got to switch it up next year. Otherwise, we actually face doing worse than we did this year in League 1. So as we enter the new season, I've been very busy switching things up. I've gone ahead and sold quite a few players, not for amazing amounts of money, but overall a decent amount, which gives us £4 million in total to spend on improving UCD Dublin to the point where we can fight for promotion. But we're not going to be using the 4-2-4 anymore. no, ladies and gents, we're going to be using the 4-3-3 attacking variation, and honestly, this is what I should have done to begin with. Collier and Acosta are still very high up the pitch, meaning they'll be involved in every single attack we have, and there's also a much bigger balance in this midfield now. The only issue is we don't have an attacking midfielder, which is where Zach Gilsenin comes into play. He's 24, he's 73 overall, and the best part about this guy is contract's running out, meaning we'll get a much cheaper deal. And that's exactly what we managed to get, is we only had to spend 2.6 million on him. And until we reach the championship now, I feel like we're in a position where we can leave our midfield trio and front three alone now. But I do want to improve our defense a bit more, man. I mean, last year we conceded the second highest amount of goals in the entire league. I mean, I don't care what formation we're rocking with, that's just not good enough. So with that in mind, I just spent 1.2 million on Senegalese centre-back Bambo Diaby. He's almost 30 years old, he's 70 overall, and he'll give us that much needed experience that we actually need in this starting 11 to actually get from League One to the Championship. And to be honest, looking at the starting 11, I do feel like right now we are too good for League One. I feel like this is the year we get another promotion. But failing that, at the very least, we've got to do better than last year, because if we don't, that just proves one thing, that the problem wasn't the formation. And if the problem wasn't the formation, then I'm clueless to what's wrong with this squad. But looking at these stats at the end of the season, I think the formation was the issue, man. Collier was on smoke, for God's sake, and Raga was too, to be fair. And look at Zach Gilsenin getting 15 assists from that cam roll. Yet the 4-3-3 attacking variation is the formation we're sticking with now. But it's all well and good, the stats looking decent. Have we done enough to get promoted? Maybe, guys, maybe we have. We're in the playoffs alongside Lincoln City, Birmingham City, and Sheffield Wednesday. But when you take a closer look at the table, we were literally 4 points away from automatic promotion. If we lose in the playoffs, I'm going to be absolutely gutted. But there's still hope for promotion, as we battered Birmingham City 4-2 in aggregate. We're playing Sheffield Wednesday in the final. They're rocking a 5 at the back formation. I really don't know what to make of that team, man. I'm praying to God we've got enough in the tank to actually beat these guys. I mean, I feel like we're a championship side waiting to be one, but we've got to beat Sheffield Wednesday first. Oh my God, they've done it. In the 65th minute, Gassama wins them the playoff final. We're still going to be playing League One football after 5 freaking years. Scrap all my other video ideas, man. I'm going to be recording this till freaking FC 25 comes out at this rate. But look at this. We smashed it in the FA Cup, making it to round 4. But then we did only make it to round 2 of the Carabao Cup. And we once again make it to round 2 of the BSM trophy as well. I still feel like this team was good enough to do it this year. We just got unlucky at the last hurdle. However, next year we can ill afford to take any chances. We've got to look through all of our players, figure out which ones that we don't want, sell them on, get as much money as possible, and then flood this team with absolute talent, and hopefully that'll be enough to get into the Championship. And as we enter season 6 with UCD Dublin, I'm halfway there on actually doing that. I've started by selling all the players that realistically I don't want or need in the team anymore, which gives us 9 million in total. So now that we sold all the players that we don't want, now it's time to flood this team with talent and hope that that's enough to get us promotion. And as you can see from the team, it's pretty obvious where we do need to put that money. Our defense. I've basically sold our entire back lineup apart from Negru and Kearns. Those two are the only ones I felt actually deserve to be there still. But even though we've got our highest budget to work with yet, it's still not amazing money, is it, guys? We've got to make sure that we make every transfer count. And I think we're off to a great start, as I've just spent 2.2 million on Stoke City right back Junior Tushameidu. He's in his mid-20s and he's 72 overall. Frankly, guys, he's a championship level defender, so you can imagine how well he's going to do in League One. I've also spotted Alex Moreno Paz for that centre-back role in his mid-20s, just like Tushameidu, but he's 73 overall and his contract's running out, meaning we'll get a much cheaper deal. And following game is James Furlong from Hull City, 26, 72 rated, and I've just this second realised he's Irish. That's a really happy accident. And just like that, our transfer window is done, as for the combined total of 5 million, we signed both of these players on 4-year deals. Now, this team in front of us is a championship side stuck in League One. I don't care what anybody says, the fact that we're still in League One right now is concerning. The worst thing is we've got players like Collier and Acosta who, quite frankly, are getting their careers wasted down in League One, but we realistically can't sell these guys yet, even if we wanted to. This has to be our year to get promotion, man. If it's not, we are in genuine in trouble. Oh, thank God for that. We've finally freaking done it. We have escaped League One. We are one step closer to getting to the top flight of English football. Oh my God, I cannot believe it's taken us 6 years to get 2 promotions. UCD Dublin, you're taking the mitt, lads. But despite our success in League One, we've had a stinker in the FA Cup, as you can see. But we did make it to round 3 of the Carabao Cup. And we made it to round 3 of the BSM trophy. That's officially our last chance to win this trophy, but honestly, I couldn't care less about it right now. Because this team in front of us are finally in the championship. And truth be told, guys, with the team this strong going into the championship, we've got a chance of back-to-back promotions if we get our transfers right next year. But looking at the stats, it's safe to say we can leave our front 3 alone for the time being. I mean, Collier got 24 and 4, 23 and 3 for Raggett, and 18 and 9 for Acosta. It's going to be tough in the championship. It is definitely not going to be easy, but I swear to God, guys, with the team we've got, we absolutely have the potential to get back-to-back promotions. I mean, when you properly think about it, there's only 3 players in this entire starting 11 who aren't Premier League ready yet. The rest actually are. I'm just hoping that the budget's on our side next year, because if it is, I'm telling you now, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure we get promotion straight away. And here we are, guys, in Season 7, and thankfully, we're no longer looking at a League One table. We are officially in the Championship. And finally, we're getting a bit more money as well. 12 million in total, and I'm telling you now, I can make this money work. Now, looking at this team, I definitely feel like leaving it alone, they could do the job by themselves, but I'm definitely not taking that chance. I feel like our captain's time in the starting 11 is up, Adico's time is up also in the starting 11, and I'm also going to look on the free agents list to see if I can find a couple of players for a bit of depth. But what we've got to remember, guys, this is our highest budget yet, man. If we are serious about promotion, we've got to make sure every penny spent absolutely counts. And I feel like we're off to a great start in making that happen, as I've just spent 8 million on centre-back Lucas Perry. He might be 30 years old, but he's levels above every other defender in the team, and I feel like he's definitely going to help us get promotion this year. But guys, I've kind of overspent. We've only got 3 million left to spend, so I feel like if we are to sign any more players, they've got to be free agents. But I've been through the free agents list and I found Leonardo Benedetti, a 29-year-old centre midfielder who's 76 overall. And I found Scott Twine, who's 30 years old himself, but he's 76 overall. Be very good for squad depth. Honestly, God bless the free agents list, because they have bailed me out and then some in this video so far. And there we go, after signing both of these players for absolutely nothing. That's our first transfer window done in the Championship. And hopefully it's going to be our last transfer window in the Championship, because in my opinion, this team is absolutely ready for the Prem. And truth be told, having gone through the Championship table, I feel like this is absolutely our best chance to get automatically promoted, because quite frankly, there's no real threats in this league now. But I've done all I can, ladies and gents. It's now up to these boys to do it on the pitch and get us to the Prem. And whilst we haven't automatically done it, there may still be a chance. We're in the playoffs alongside Watford, Sheffield United and Sunderland. But I'm not getting my hopes up, guys, because if you remember from the last playoffs, we didn't exactly have a happy ending, did we? But the boys are getting me hopes up. We've beaten the Blades 2-1 in the freaking semis. We've just got to beat Sunderland and we're promoted. And I wish I could tell you I know how good that team actually is, but truth be told, I haven't got a Scooby freaking do. All I know is we've got a phenomenal team for the Championship, and surely to God, our time to get promoted to the Prem is now. Thank God for that! We finally freaking done it! It has taken us 7 or 8 years. We have gone from the bottom of English football to the top at long freaking last, man. We're one step closer to making this team the best in the world. I am so relieved we've actually done it, man. I'm not being funny. If this team didn't get promotion this year, this controller would have been launched out the window. And guys, our form in the league carried over to the FA Cup as we made it to round 3. But we got stopped in round 2 of the Carabao Cup by Aston Villa. But looking at these stats, guys, I'm really not surprised we got promoted. All of our front 4 individually bagged at least 20 goals, man. That's insane. The only issue is next year, if we don't get a decent budget to work with, we may have to sell either Collier or Acosta. And truth be told, I really don't want to do that. I mean, these guys are legit the best players we've got by a country mile. They've been with us since Season 1 and they've carried us from League 2 to the Premier League. But we're not going to be playing against your Stoke Cities or your Wrexhams now. We're going to be playing against Man United, Arsenal, Arsenal and Manchester City. So if the board don't back us, we've got to take matters into our own hands. Well, here we are, guys. It's taken us 8 years, but we're finally in the promised land. One small step for Man, one giant leap for UCD Dublin. But apparently the board forgot that freaking memo. We've got 32 million and 32 million alone to spend this year. I don't think that's enough, man. We're actually going to have to sell one of our academy players, aren't we? And it's going to be a Costa that I actually sell, and that's for 2 reasons. One, he doesn't actually score as many goals for us as Collier does, and actually he's worth 4 million more, so it makes sense to get the most money out of the deal, doesn't it? And it didn't take long to get transfer offers. Roma want to give us 80 mil alongside Santiago Lopez, and Man U want to give us 74 mil alongside Ezekiel Palacios. But we can get between 110 and 162 million, and believe me, I'm not accepting a penny under 140. But out of the 2 teams, I'm gonna negotiate with Roma. I don't feel like it's the best idea in the world to negotiate with a fallow Premier League side with one of your best players. But we're not having any other player in this deal. I want to see if I can get 150 mil. Are they going to go for it? No, they want to give us Felix and Mecca and 85 million. Felix and Mecca is a ball, you know, but I don't really want him. To be honest, I don't want any players as part of this deal. I just want straight cash. I want to get at least 140 mil, so I'm going to try and get 145 mil this time. Are they going to accept this? No, they want to try and give us more money alongside Felix and Mecca. I tell you what, if they'll give us 110 alongside Felix and Mecca, I'll actually accept this offer. The offer's been made. 110 alongside Felix and Mecca, 101.5. Come on, play ball. 105 mil, and I'll actually accept it. I've changed my mind. And they've accepted it, guys. We've actually got a very good midfielder alongside 105 million. And there's Felix and Mecca, ladies and gents. The deal has gone through. We have just sold Acosta. And now we've got 122 million to spend. That's just a little bit better than 32 mil, isn't it? And truth be told, I feel like we put it all into our defense. Our midfield trio and front 3 aren't all that bad, ladies and gents, but our defense, if we are to do pretty decent in our first season in the Prem, definitely needs sorting out. So I started back to front by spending 30 million on Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper Matteo Manson. He's 30 years old, but he's 84 overall, and truth be told, we need somebody of his quality in between the sticks, especially considering we're new to the Premier League. But working our way up the pitch now, I'm going for Nathan Collins for our centre-back. He's almost 30 years old, but he's 82 rated, and more importantly, he's Irish, guys. Obviously, I was going to sign him. And following game is Brentford centre-back Luca Bentley, only 20, 79 overall. He's obviously a regen of someone, but I don't care. He looks like a beast, and I want him in the team. And for the combined total of 51 million, we've got ourselves a brand new centre-back partnership. But we've gone overboard once again on this spending. We've only got 32 million to spend now on 2 brand new fullbacks. And despite our defense looking pretty damn decent, we do need new fullbacks. Otherwise, I do feel like the defense is going to get absolutely battered. Luckily, there's Terrell Malassi, who's 30 years old now, granted, but he's 82 overall. He's got Premier League experience and his contract's running out, and we all know what that means. And I've managed to find a free agent called Nico Frank, only 20, but he's 75 overall. I'm half tempted to send our current right back out on loan and just give him a go in the starting 11. And after spending 20 mil combined on both of these players, that officially wraps up our first transfer window in the Prem. And you know what? I think we've done pretty well, guys. We've got a very good keeper now. Our back 4 sorted. We've bossed our midfield with a Mecca, and Scott Twine's gone into Acosta's place, which isn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we're definitely going to miss Acosta, don't get it twisted, but Scott Twine for now can at least do a semi-decent job. I'm really hoping so anyway, guys, because after all the hard work we've done to get UCD Dublin to the Premier League, I swear to God, if I see UCD Dublin in the bottom 3 like we are now at the end of this season, I'm going to lose my head. But for now, at least, guys, my head's staying exactly where it is. We're just outside the top 10, and honestly, guys, I feel that's a great start. I mean, we're only 14 points outside the top 6, so providing we have a little bit more money to work with next year from the board, we could probably make this work if we make the right signings. And on top of our Premier League finish, we've made it to round 5 of the FA Cup this time. But we've had a stinker in the Carabao Cup. But when you look at the team, everybody's happy, everybody's sharp. There's only a couple of positions we realistically need to focus on next year to take us to that next level. Honestly, everything is looking fantastic for UCD Dublin. I mean, Raggett's had a really good year. 24-1 for him, 17-7 for Collier, 11-4 for Emeka. Fair play to him from the centre mid-roll. That's really good. But I'll maintain what I said, guys. If we get the money next year from the board, we can easily take this team to the top 6 next season. But if we don't get that money, guys, Collier may have to be sold in order to take us to that next level. I mean, his market value is 101 mil, so we can easily get 180 for him, I reckon. I really hope it doesn't come to that because he's a world-class player, but we've all seen what that kind of money can do to a team in the span of 12 months. So if it does come to that, honestly, it is what it is at this point. Well, guys, we're now into Season 9 with UCD Dublin, and all I can say is that board must really not like me because we've only been given 31 million, and we all know what that means now. Louis Collier is officially getting sold, ladies and gents. It is a humongous freaking shame, but for the good of the team, this is what we've got to do. And it took less than a week, but Marseille have offered 130.7 mil, but we can get upwards to 160. So you better believe I'm negotiating this. I mean, if they've already offered 130, they're definitely going to offer big money. Let's go for 155 million. They're sticking to the guns, 130.7 with a sell-on clause. Okay, let's go for 150 million flat. They're still not budging. I don't feel like I want to sell him for that kind of money. I feel like a player who's 23 years old and 88 overall should at least be going for 150. So we are going to reject the bodiless Marseille manager and hold out for a better offer. And guys, it turns out waiting for a better offer paid off because we got the exact amount of money that we were after, and you'll never guess where he's actually off to. Louis Collier is off to Wolves for 150.7 mil, ladies and gents. Right now, we are actually minted because we've now got 171 million to spend. Guys, I feel like if we can get this right, we've got European football next year no matter what. But what we do need is a better right winger than Twine, a better left winger than Norris, and a better centre midfielder than Benedetti. Once we sorted those positions out, if we've got money left over, we'll then revisit the team and then go from there. Well, the first thing I did was spend 40 million on centre midfielder Javi Guerra. And what a beast he is. Only 28, he's 85 overall. Him and Emeka in the middle of the park are going to tear it up in the Prem. I'm also going to sign right winger Ernest Parku. He's not even close to being 30, to be fair, and he's already 84 overall. Right now, he's probably one of our best options for a right winger. And joining him is Spanish left winger Estanis from Barcelona, 84 overall. To be honest, guys, I've actually never heard of him, but he looks like an absolute baller. And there we go. For the combined total of £94.8 million, we signed both of these players on permanent deals. Now, we've still got 21 million to spend. It's not much, but there is one more thing that I do want to do with this money if we can afford it. I'd like to sign Carney Chukwuemeka. I mean, he's 27, 82 overall. He's got Premier League experience, and I feel like he'd do a really good job for us in that attacking midfielder position. But because he's too expensive, I'm going to throw Zach Gilson in the deal as well. I mean, he's worth 18 million on his own, so adding 20 mil on top of that, we may just be able to get him. Well, maybe not 20 mil because that's literally all we've got. So I'm offering 15 mil alongside Gilson. If they want any more than that, I don't think this... Oh my God, Pochettino's actually accepted it. What a moron. And there he is in the UCD Dublin kit, ladies and gents. I can't believe we've just been able to pull that off. But look at the team now, guys. Dare I say, for the first time since taking charge of this team, we've literally got no weaknesses at all in that team now. I mean, to be fair, with the signings we've made this year, I should bloody hope we haven't, in all honesty. But one thing I am hoping for this year is European football, whether that be in the Champions League, Europa League, or Conference League. This team right here absolutely should be in European football next season. And thank God for that, guys. We're top 4 in the Premier League. We are finally, after 9 freaking years, got European football. Oh my God, I could cry. I'm that relieved. Bro, from next year onwards, we've legit got 5 years left to become the best team in the world. Otherwise, we've actually failed this challenge. That's how mental this video is. It's also hard to believe that in 9 years, we haven't won the FA Cup yet. We made it to round 3 this time. And it's the same story with the Carabao Cup. But the good news is we are at long last on the right track to making UCD Dublin the world's best club. club. How is UCD Dublin a better team than Hyderabad FC, but Hyderabad FC only took 10 years? I don't know, guys, it doesn't make sense, but neither do these stats, man. How do we finish inside the top 4 and our top goal scorer being Poku and Raggett with only 12 goals apiece? Then again, though, our goal difference is pants, but saying that, so is Arsenal's, Brighton's and Manchester United's. It's only City's and Newcastle's that was actually pretty decent. But the thing is, going into next season, if our budget isn't good, we've got no trump card to play. We absolutely have to be backed by the board or we're going to be in pretty serious trouble. And unfortunately, guys, we did have a lot of money, but not quite as much as I'd like. So I took matters into my own hands. I sold Terrell Malacia and also Scott Twine for the combined total of just under 40 odd million, which leaves us 127 million to spend this year, man. I'm telling you, with that kind of money, we can make a dent in the Champions League. And obviously, we got to put some of that money towards Malacia's replacement because Furlong, as decent as he is, isn't good enough for the UCL. But we also need a backup goalkeeper because, quite frankly, guys, Hermansen is literally the only goalkeeper we've got right now. So I sorted that problem out straight away. So I spent 21.5 million on Alvaro Aceves. Almost certainly butchered his name, but he's 82 overall and he's not even 30 years old yet. He's legitimately a great backup for Hermansen. But don't forget, we also need a left back. So I spent 37 mil on the dot on Bevo's lookalike. He is 30 years old, but he's 84 overall, and you cannot tell me that Miguel Gutierrez does not look like Bevo. And just like that, the starting team looks far better now, and to be fair, guys, the bench doesn't look that bad either. But we still got 64 million to spend, and if you think I'm throwing this money down the drain, you're having a laugh. Now, I'm going to do my best to sign Evan Ferguson. He's 27, 86 overall. He's a bit expensive, but he's been my target since season 1, and you better believe I'm going to try and sign him now. But like I said, he's pretty expensive, so I'm offering 50 mil alongside Mikey Raggett, who's worth 13.5 million. I know that sucks, but I'm going to take Ferguson over Raggett every single time. The question is, though, will Hoffenheim? Oh my god, they've actually accepted it. Guys, I'm not being funny. We've got a genuine shot of winning the UCL this year with Ferguson in the team now. And there he is in the UCD Dublin kit. I cannot believe it's taken us 10 years, but we finally got him. And the timing that we got him is basically perfect, as we are in the UCL for the first time with UCD Dublin in Group H alongside Napoli, Wolfsburg and Rangers. And we've had a good start to the campaign too. 3 games played, 2 wins, 1 draw, undefeated. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like a couple of trophies are heading our way this year. I mean, we definitely contenders to win the Premier League title, and if everything goes our way in the UCL, maybe we could win that too. Unfortunately, it's not our time yet to win the Premier League title, as Arsenal finished 6 points above us. But the good news is we did finish 1 place higher than last year, and we are, of course, once again in the Champions League next season. But there's more good news. We've won the FA Cup, beating Bournemouth to do it 4-0. If I'm not mistaken, this is our first trophy since winning the playoffs. But we couldn't win the Carabao Cup as Manchester City knocked us out in round 4. But this is looking decent. We are through to the round of 16 after finishing 2nd in Group H. And we're in the quarters after beating Royal Antwerp 4-2 in the round of 16. But Dortmund did get the better of us in the quarters after smashing us 5-3. But check this, Dortmund got to the final and lost 4-3 to Aston Villa. I'm not being funny. If Villa can win the Champions League, we definitely can. I mean, come on, guys. This team is world class at this point, especially when you consider how far into career mode now we actually are. The stats are good as well. Poku with 25 and 7, Ferguson with 22 and 4, 11 and 10 for Mecca, 11 and 4 for Guerra, and 11 and 2 for Stanis. Every year, without fail now, we're getting closer and closer to making this team the world's best, and this year is absolute proof of that. And I think next year the board are finally going to properly back us. We're 3rd in the Premier League, we've won the FA Cup, and we finished in the quarters of the UCL. And let me tell you something, if they do properly back us, get ready, because this team will soon become the world's best. And thankfully, guys, I was right. We've got just over 142 million to spend. That is honestly amazing news. But I just wanted to show you guys just how far into career mode we actually are now. It's our 11th year in charge of UCD Dublin. Look how old Thiago Almada is now, for goodness sake. We've been in charge of this team for so long now, man. I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the furthest I've ever been in career mode. We're entering uncharted territory, but that does beg the question, doesn't it? What are we going to do with this 142 million? Because quite frankly, guys, we can do pretty much anything we want with it now. And to be honest, I think we need to replace Nathan Collins. He's 32, 84 rated, granted, but that age is going to catch up with him next year. And when we're in the Champions League, we can ill afford afford for that to happen. And to be honest, I want to replace Chukwuemeka and drop him to the bench so we've got a bit more depth in that attacking role. He's not really done all that much for us. He's not really improved all that much for us. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed in this transfer. And before you say, guys, no, I'm not replacing him with Thiago Almada. He's in the same situation as Nathan Collins is right now. But as I've said, we are financially absolutely fantastic, so I don't think it's going to take me long to find a suitable replacement for both Nathan Collins and Carney Chukwuemeka. And I wasn't wrong, guys. We found Tommaso Baldanzi for that attacking midfield role. He's 87 overall and he's 30 years old, which gives us a 2 to 3 year window to try our best to win the UCL before he starts going down in overall. And then there's Jared Branthwaite for that centre-back role. I know that he's 31 years old, but his contract's running out and he's 87 overall. No matter what we spend on this guy, it's going to be an absolute bargain. But overall combined, they were not cheap, as I've just spent 123.8 million to sign both of these players. I'm also signing Yusuf Barassi for absolutely nothing. We need a backup striker, and this guy looks pretty decent. And guys, I'm not being funny, but look at this team now. The backline, the midfield, the strikers up top, everywhere is absolutely phenomenal. And it fills me with confidence looking at our Champions League group stage. We're with Barca, Royal Antwerp, and Shakhtar in Group G, and realistically, it's got to be ourselves and Barca going through, hasn't it? But then again, you look at the Premier League table, and we're doing absolutely pants. But then again, so is Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham Hotspur, so we're not exactly in the worst company, are we? I feel like we can do it this year, man. I mean, I can't think of a single reason why we wouldn't be able to. I mean, we signed Tommaso Baldanzi, who's far better than Carney Chukwuemeka. We've signed Jared Branthwaite, who's levels above Nathan Collins, and we've actually got a better second choice striker now. But I've done all I can, as you've clearly seen. It's now entirely up to these boys to do it on the pitch. Oh my god, I hate Man City with a passion, man. They've beaten us to the Premier League title by 1 frigging point. Why can't they just have a freaking day off? Seriously, you'd think after 11 years they'd take the foot off the gas a bit, but no, they're still as annoying as ever. But at the very least, we have won the Community Shield, beating Arsenal on penalties to do it. We've also won the FA Cup, beating Newcastle to do it. But we still can't get our hands on the Carabao Cup. Chelsea knock us out in the quarters. But then again, we did lose to the winner, so that does kind of soften the blow. But as for the UCL, I was bang on the money. Ourselves and Barca progressed through to the knockouts, while Shakhtar and Royal Antwerp get knocked out. But we just make it to the quarters after just scraping past Stade Rennais in the round of 16. And oh my god, we've beaten last year's UCL winners Villa 4-1 on aggregate. Oh my god, that is a massive statement. We could be playing the Hammers, Inter Milan, or Dortmund. Oh my god, please, please give me West Ham United. I can't believe it. We got the hardest draw out of the 3 in Inter Milan. We beat them 4-3 on aggregate, and we're playing Dortmund in the final. If I'm not mistaken as well, they knocked us out last year. This is such a good opportunity to get a bit of payback, but this is their second final in the row. If they actually lose 2 finals in the row, they're as bad as bloody England. But I've got to say, looking at that team, I don't really understand how they've made back-to-back finals. I don't know majority of their starting 11, to be honest, so it could be really good, but the players I do know are just old and washed at this point. But ours certainly aren't, ladies and gents, as Ferguson's got 35 goal contributions, 22 and 11 from Mecca, 18 and 1 for Barassi, fair play to him, 14 and 9 for Poku as well. And this is the starting 11 that 11 years after taking charge of UCD Dublin is going in to the Champions League final. I cannot believe it. It's taken us longer with Europe's worst team than the world's worst team to get to the final. I don't see how that makes sense. But we certainly won more with this team than we did with Hyderabad. We've won the playoff final and the championship. We've won 2 FA Cups and we've also won an FA Community Shield. But now we have the chance to win the biggest trophy you can win at club level to cement UCD Dublin as the world's best team. All we got to do is beat Dortmund to do it. Here's a chance here. Evan Ferguson's on the ball. Jesus Christ, Maxence Lacroix is fast. Bro, I don't think you understand how mad that is what Lacroix's just done. He's legitimately just caught up to Evan Ferguson, who's rapid like it was nothing. We're going to have difficulty against Lacroix. I'm telling you that for nothing. Here we come now. Chiara's on the ball. We're looking for that run from Stanis. He's floored his man. He's away on the left-hand side of the pitch. Okay, let's see if we can spot Evan Ferguson. Oh, we tried to feed him Baldanzi, but we just couldn't. Could hit them on the break, though. Evan Ferguson once again against Lacroix. Lacroix is not leaving them alone, but he's left an open gap in behind. Baldanzi's there. Can't get a shot off. Moving forward now, though. Bentley's going to look for Evan Ferguson. Okay, ball roll inside. We got away from our man. Near post shot. Good save, Dortmund's keeper. We're getting a chances. We just need to be a little bit more clinical. Like this, head on that. Oh, what a save. Here comes Dortmund, their first proper time in our freaking area. And look at that. Just like that, Bevo's got it covered, lad. Here come Dortmund. Another chance. Kareem the Dream Adeyemi on the 40th minute. Puts Dortmund one ahead, and I'm not going to lie to you, that is undeserved as shit. Dortmund have been in our half a combined total of about 10 minutes at best, and they take 2 shots and put it away, man. Our keeper Hermansen's let us down there. I feel like he should have saved that, but we could make amends right here. Stanis is away. Come on, Stanis, lad. Put us 1-0. Yes, come on. That is not how I wanted that shot to go, but I do not care. He tended up in the back of the net on the stroke of our time. We equalise. Why is he taking us conceding to actually be able to put one away, man? We should be about 3-0 up at this point without conceding. Very good goal, though. Good work from Guerra. Stanis in behind. Nobody even close to him. Maxence Lacroix tries to get close, but he wasn't quick enough that time, was he? Come though now, Gutierrez is going to try and find... Oh, that's a beautiful bit of space. Evan Ferguson put it away. No! I would have put my house on you scoring that. That was the chance right there, ladies and gents. If we lose this game, it's because we didn't put that chance away. Dortmund are now coming forward with a little bit of a vengeance. Oh, no, I don't like that. Great save, Hermansen. Dortmund have the corner now. We need to get this away and try to hit them on the break. That is a phenomenal clearance. Oh, my God. And with that comes a very tasty-looking counter-attack with Poku away from his man. He's got the pace. Has he got the clinicalness to put us 2-1 up? Oh, my God. With 15 minutes to go, he's actually been able to do it. He ran the entire length of the pitch on the break, and he puts us ahead in the UCL final. Oh, my God. He has got balls made of frigging steel. I cannot believe he's actually just been able to do that, man. We are 15 minutes away from winning the Champions League. We just don't need anything stupid at the back, man. No silly errors, nothing stupid. Just defend for our frigging lives. We just don't need anything stupid here. Maya is on the ball. Jared Branthwaite is there. Oh, no, no, no. This is exactly what I'm not after. He's got a bit of open room. He's going to put it away. I freaking knew it. They were playing that stupid, fancy AI bullshit football. It draws you out because it's just human error to do it, and they take advantage of it. Oh, man, it looks so bad from there, but there was literally nothing I could freaking do. I hate this freaking Dortmund team, man. We do have a little bit of a chance here, though. We're working this ball around really well. Oh, my God. And Mecca is going to feed him Poku to win us the game. Oh, my God. Poku's actually done it. Not only has he equalised for us to make it freaking 2-1. No, he didn't equalise. He put us 2-1 up. He's actually just won us the game. Oh, my days. I am so freaking relieved. We could have taken this with a Mecca, but I wanted Poku to do it because he's already done it once for us. My freaking God, it is almost over. Our mission with UCD Dublin is almost freaking complete. Please, for God's sake, nothing stupid now. Nothing stupid at the back. I tell you what, I'm not even taking chances. I'm going to snap everybody's legs off. And he's freaking worked. We've actually done it. It has taken us 11 long freaking years, but we've made Europe's worst team the best in the freaking world. I have not been this happy since Cody beat Roman to win the freaking title at Mania 40. We finally freaking done it. Get in! And with that draws an end to this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like on it. Smash that subscribe button if you are new around here whilst you're at it. And guys, if you think Hyderabad FC and UC Dublin was difficult, wait till next Friday because this trilogy ends with the most difficult challenge yet. But until then, guys, to keep yourselves occupied, just click this video right here because this is a banger as well.